So, let's go to the beginning and learn something. Let's go to the beginning and learn something very important. The book of Genesis. The book of Genesis. I want to read from verse chapter 2. Genesis. Genesis chapter 2. Genesis chapter 2. Verse 15 and 16 and 17. Then the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to tend and keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden you may freely eat. Every tree of the garden you may freely eat. But of the tree of knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For in the day that you ate of it, you shall surely die. But in the day you eat of it, you shall surely die. God is talking to Adam. That if there is a tree in the Garden of Eden, any day you eat it, you shall surely die. That is what God commanded Adam, not to eat the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Good. Then fast forward to Genesis chapter 3. When serpent come. Let's read Genesis chapter 3 verse 1. Now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field, which the Lord God has made. And he said to the woman, Has God indeed said you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? That is the question. Then the woman answered him. In verse 4, Genesis chapter 3 verse 4, the woman said to the serpent, after the woman answered him, the serpent said, in Genesis 3:4, then the serpent said to the woman, You will not surely die, for God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be open, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. This is what serpent said. But God said what? What did God say? God said in Genesis chapter 2 verse 17, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you ate it, you shall surely die. God said if you eat it, you will die. That is commandment God gave them. But Satan said, you will not die. The day you eat it, your eyes will be open, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. That is serpent. We want to know who is saying the truth now. And where we know it from Bible, not with outside the book, because this Bible God, these writers of Bible, the type of God they present to us is terrible. Now, we hear what God said, and we hear the one serpent said. That was before, when they never ate the food, the tree of this knowledge of good and evil. Now, mistake come. They ate the food. They ate the tree. They eat the tree of knowledge of good and evil. After that, let's read Genesis chapter 3, verse number 23. Let's see what God said after they eat the tree, after they eat the food, after they eat the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. Let's hear what God said after they eat it. Therefore, the Lord God. Okay, let's read Genesis chapter 3, verse number 22. Then the Lord God said, Behold, the man has become like one of us, to know good and evil. And now, unless he put his hand and take also of the tree of life, and eat and live forever. Okay, where we are concentrating is, and now the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. God is saying this one in Genesis chapter 3, verse 22. Then the Lord God said, behold, the man has become like one of us to know good and evil. Wow. What did he say before they eat the food? What did the commandment is? The commandment is this. The day you eat of it, you shall surely die. That is the commandment of God. That is what God said. What did the serpent said? Serpent said, for God knows that the day you eat it, your eyes will be open. You will be like God, knowing good and evil. Now, after they eat it, God said exactly what serpent said. After they eat it, God said what serpent said, which means serpent is right. God lied from beginning. He said that they shall die if they eat the fruit. When serpent say, if you eat it, you will be like God, knowing good and evil. After they eat it, God repeat what serpent said. God said, behold, the man has become like one of us to know good and evil. Remember that serpent first told the woman, for God knows that in the day you eat it, you shall be like God, knowing good and evil. So who is telling us the truth here? The serpent is telling us the truth. Because God say, if you eat it, you shall die. Serpent say, no, if you eat it, you will be like God, knowing good and evil. After they ate it, God say, now they have become like us, knowing good and evil. Now he say, let us put them out of the Garden of Eden, because if we leave them, they may take of the another tree again, they may take of the tree of life and eat and live forever. So, which type of God are they writing here in the Bible? Is it original God? Or is it the God that they carry in mind? I think it's God that they carry in mind. It's not God of creation. God of creation cannot make this type of mistake. And God of creation doesn't speak like human being. He's a spirit. God of creation is a spirit. So when he wants to speak, he speaks spiritual language.